week in the Phantom Zone, Barry screwed up again, Eobard Thawne was at NASA, and Arrow fought some people. Hi, I'm Connor. And with me is Hunter Davenport.
X-Men Apocalypse sucks.
Arlan Harrow.
They're dying in here! They're screaming!
And Allan Muir.
So, I looked into the mirror and noticed I have the same my hairstyle is the same way as the new Archie.
Riveting.
Allan, I have a bone to pick with you.
Radio gold.
Not
Allan,
Riverdale Archie, Markway Archie.
Allan, you referred to me as Old Man Logan in the Old Man Connor in the Logan episode. My coworkers have caught wind of that for some reason, and now that's my nickname at work. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, tell them your nickname before that was Young Connor.
Yeah, but they know I'm not Young Connor. They're well aware that I'm at least 10 years older than all you guys.
Connor's like our drunk, angry dad, but he's not drunk.
I'm the podcast grandpa.
Yeah, he's podcast grandpa.
I didn't watch Supergirl this week. I didn't know there wasn't an episode.
Oh my god, it's turning into Roger the Stanley Experience.
God
all
damn
these
it.
shows move way too fast for me.
Well, yeah, that's true. They all move very quickly.
Logan was very violent. Oh, that was last week. Anyway, that hurts. Okay, what are we starting with? Legends?
We're doing Legends first.
Okay, as usual, because Legends continues to be the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah,
Hey, we went to space.
Yep.
60s.
Real cool.
Eobard Thawne got himself onto the... Was this the Apollo 13 mission?
Yeah. Yep.
This show could not be, at this point, any less like Doctor Who.
I mean, it's like...
They just pal around with historical figures frequently.
I think that they have a board, and it just has, like, moments... Or it just has, like, places where they think that they could copy or top Doctor Who in some way.
They have a Who checklist, and they try to go in the opposite direction. Like, what did Doctor Who do? Well, we could talk to Vincent Van Gogh.
Right.
Who did it?
Let's talk to Tesla.
Doctor
Who did it?
Who did Apollo 11 do?
Yeah. But good stuff as usual.
Did Doctor Who go back to King Arthur?
Did they?
Not exactly. They did Morgan Le Fay, which is close.
Okay.
Real close.
That was the only episode of Legions.
Doctor Who fought vampires.
Which time?
Dude, I love that. I love that you can say that.
That's like which time did he run into a T-Rex for some reason?
Or the Loch Ness Monster.
I didn't see the Camelot 3000 episode, so I feel like I missed something. But where are the Legion members right now?
What do you mean?
Damien Dark and
The Legion of
John
Doom?
Barrowman.
Yeah.
I assume that they're just back in Eobard's lair thing.
Yeah, they're just hanging out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Eobard's warehouse.
Yep. Which, if we go back through all these shows, we will find where that warehouse has been used before as something else. So.
Oh yeah, totally. One of the things I noticed immediately about this episode is that once the writers brought back Rip Hunter, they had no idea what to do with him.
Yeah, that becomes apparent, and it's only like
obvious.
He even says that, like, to
Yeah.
a degree. Like,
I think they started writing this episode like, "Fuck, what do we do with Arthur Darvill?" And then, like, I think only by the end of the episode did that actually make any sense, like what he's doing.
Yeah, it becomes a story, it becomes a plot point, and I liked it more after they started treating it like one.
Yeah, instead of just like, what do we do with?
They also brought up his dead family.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice to...
yeah, that was awkward for him.
No,
Because-
my favorite awkward moment of the show is when Eobard was talking to Ray, and Ray was talking to Eobard, and he's like, "You killed Barry's mom twice."
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this is the time to bring that up. What the hell? This is supposed to be Post being sucked into the time stream Eobard. That confused the hell out.
Let's talk about that, because that conversation, that's why I brought it in the chat, that confused the shit out of me, because he said
Cisco,
I miss being a scientist.
and working with
I
Cisco
worked
and
with
Caitlin.
Cisco and Caitlin for a long time. I'm like, wait a minute. You died after that. How are you here?
Right. I mean, maybe there's some sort of timey-wimey thing we're not seeing where maybe I don't understand it.
Trust me, I'm all for
Like-
keeping Eobard Thawne around, but I have a big question as to how, because he had a very definitive end, and like he was literally erased from existence.
Right.
And now he's kind of implying that he remembers everything that happened in Flash Season 1.
Mm-hmm. Like if this
he
was,
has been saying, like, oh, Barry, plug me from the timeline. I'm like, yeah, but when? Like, and what did you do after you fixed Flashpoint? Because he said, what did he say to Barry? He says, everything's normal for you, but not for me.
No, it was
right.
I know, he said that everything's fine for me, not for you.
Okay,
I guess.
Yeah.
I can only assume is that this is it somehow.
They said he's a time remnant.
Yeah, but okay, it doesn't matter because we saw him get sucked into the time stream.
Also, time remnants still do not make sense. So
Yeah.
That's their get out of jail free card. Also, a good thing we got to hear Jax use his regular accent.
Yeah, that was nice. I still want to talk about this Eobard thing though, because so here's my explanation. At some point, a previous version of Eobard finds out what is going to happen to him and saves him, like at the last minute.
So he did what Barry did at the end of Season 2, is what you're saying. Like, he grabbed another version of himself. But that would also require him to be disguised as Harrison Wells. There's so many plot holes with it.
Well, yeah, or it could be another version of the Matt Lesher version. And it's sort of like the Doctor Who 50th anniversary, where he doesn't remember because of some temporal stuff that causes him to forget. That's my best explanation for it.
The only thing I can think of is this the Eobard Thawne now from last season of Flash?
No, it couldn't be, because that was supposed to be an earlier version who doesn't know Barry's identity. He just learned Barry's identity. He just learned who Barry's real identity is and who his mom is.
Harry said it. This is his origin.
Right. This is how he becomes...
Yeah, that happens before he goes back for his next trip to kill Barry. Or to kill Barry's mom, basically.
Yeah. But again, like this Eobard that we meet in this episode, again, he suggests that he knows what happened and in Season 1 of Flash, which is confusing because one of the things we know happened is he became a more caring person after those 20 years pretending to be Wells.
Yeah.
Like, spending so long trying to be Wells, he started to convince himself that he was actually not this terrible, evil monster. At least not all the time.
There's pieces of me that are Wells. Every now and then, like if I think of Tess, I get emotional for some reason.
Yeah. So it wouldn't. So him being as evil as he is now doesn't really make sense. Maybe they'll explain it in some way.
I'm still thinking that the end of Season 3 of Flash is going to... is going to tie this up, because I think he's going to transition from Legends to Flash or something, because it seems like they've invested too much time with him to just write him off after Legends.
I would love it if
this season.
I would be so... It would be so cool, and not in a good way, if he went to Arrow next, or Ren,
oh god,
or Supergirl.
I would never buy Team Arrow being a viable threat to Eobard Thawne.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
Not on their own.
Well, it's like every third episode, like someone shoots him in the ankle with one of those like speed dampening arrows, and he's just like, "Son of a bitch!"
I'm telling you, all you need to beat Team Arrow is something better than a bow and arrow.
You mean like a gun?
Always kicks their ass.
Well,
yeah, but they have Black Canary now, the real Black Canary, and she has powers. So yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Also, how many members of the JSA are dead now?
2.
God, it has to be all of them.
No, because Midnight's dead. Rex Tyler's dead.
Actually, half of them. Half are dead,
basically.
half are alive.
Yeah, which is kind of fine because they told us that they were dead already.
Stargirl and Vixen are still alive.
What? Okay, yeah.
Iron Man, Dr. Midnight, and Commander Steel are gone.
Yeah. So it's sort of like we learned that they were dead early in the season, and now this is sort of just showing us their deaths individually, which is interesting because you don't expect them to die, because you already in your head think that they're dead in some other way.
This was Commander Steel, right?
Yeah.
Yo, his death sucks.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
That is awful. But yeah, plot of this episode was that the final piece of Spirit Destiny is inside the flag that's on the moon, which I thought was very amusing. And then just see Rey come out of the pod and start jumping around in slow motion on the moon.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. There's a lot of good things about this episode, though. I like that Rey and Eobard have to work together, because they actually have really good chemistry.
Yeah, there's a line he says, "I miss being a scientist."
Yeah,
I love this. This was great because of that. Because, like I said, they've done tremendous work with the villains this season, and it didn't make it like when he says, "I'm after something more elemental. I want to live." He has a goal that's very easy to understand, and he's also he's got some pragmatism to him, and he's like, well, I mean, I could be a shithead here, or I could help these people get back to Earth, which is where I need to be.
Yep.
I feel like if this were Vandal Savage, he'd be like, I'll stab you!
I mean, yeah, in his glorious DTV accent.
And then claiming about how he taught someone how to do a certain thing that they're famous for.
I will stab you.
Right. But yeah, there's
Robin Hood,
also...
I taught him his aim.
Yeah. God damn it. But this is really Eobard's episode, because like even at the end, when they land, and just the way everybody treats him, like, oh shit, at any moment he could just kill all of us.
Every single character is armed.
Uh-huh. I love it. And his expression on his face is like, whatever.
Actually, he did have a Vandal Savage moment. He said those anti-speedster weapons, I created them.
Yeah. And the only reason that they get out of there alive is because of Black Flash.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk about him again.
Yeah.
When we talk about
I mean, this is Black Flash's week, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, this episode was kind of wasn't too much going on.
Yeah, it's kind of a milquetoast episode.
Very easy to summarize, but not bad at all. I was tickled by Roy just standing in a suit with glasses on. It was very amusing for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, but when Victor Garber, when Martin starts saying...
Yeah, here's the thing. That's in my bad for this week.
That was so awkward.
And I have in my notes, Legend is really proud of making Victor Garber look like an idiot. Because he could have just faked a heart attack very easily, and it would have served the same exact purpose. But no, we're just going to have him sing.
Like a first draft suggestion, let's have him sing Deo. Yeah, sure, why not? No problems there.
Yeah, and they're clearly proud of it because they put it in the end credits. If you sit through the CBS commercials, it's just an extra minute of him singing like that. I
did see that. Even on the stream I found, they included that in there. They didn't cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really like that much, but it was fine. I mean, there's some stuff in this episode that I didn't like. I did not like the Martian thing that Ray did. I thought that was really on the nose and kind of not well done.
Now I know what Matt Damon feels like.
Yeah, but I do like Matt Lesher being like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Which is great, because only Reverse Flash would be self-aware enough to say, this is ridiculous. Why is this happening right now? Yeah. Anybody else have any stuff that they really liked or they really hated this episode?
There are two moments I liked with Nate. First, is the scene after his grandfather gets sent. Grandfather dies.
Yep.
And he has that moment with Amaya.
Yeah. I like that too. I do like how she just immediately looks up her own history or future, I guess.
Anybody thinking that Nate is basically present-day Vixen's grandfather or father.
I'm not... Yeah, I think that's possible. I think that's very possible. Because I do think that there's always going to be 2 rotating seats in this show. And they rotated in, so it's very likely that they will rotate out. Although I'm more inclined to believe that Mick is one of the rotating seats this year, and he gets replaced.
Very.
But yeah, but that'd be interesting. I don't know. Does anybody else have another positive one? Because I have a positive, but if anybody else
Can I
has
tell you
one,
something that I'm obsessed about this episode.
yeah.
Okay, so when Ray Palmer is in space, you only see him from behind, right?
Right.
So when he turns around in the ship, like once he gets there, he wasn't wearing a face mask in space.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're right.
It's so fucking weird. Like, it just like took me out of the moment for a second.
You know what's funny is that when he was in space, I kept looking at his face mask and going, "That probably doesn't like where's his air coming from?"
Yeah,
where's his air coming from? That mask is certainly when it's shown like when he's on the ground, that mask is not sealed against his face, and if it is, he is suffocating to death.
Yeah, no, that dude's dead. Like,
Guys, come on, it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know, I'm aware of this, but it was very distracting for a moment.
Yeah, like I was
like, how is he breathing?
It's just like Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He should be choking to death when he flies out of that ship that first time, but he doesn't. So yay!
Can I talk about my
Garber
second?
singing is a high point for me. I don't care what you guys say. It is for me.
What was that, Allan?
Can I talk about my second thing I liked with Nate?
Yeah, sure.
The scene he has with his father.
Grandfather, or are you talking about the scene with the young kid?
Is the child, the younger version of the father.
Yeah. That's a good scene. I really enjoyed that also. I didn't think I would.
It reminded me of the scene from last season with Snart and his younger self.
I
Yeah, it's
was
very
about to say, the amount of awkwardness that this show likes to force in its characters by having them interact with the younger versions of themselves or younger versions of loved ones is really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't really have too much else to say about it.
Yeah. I do like when Eobard is in the cell and they're like, "Oh, crap, we can't figure out how to do this. What's the degree of reentry and all that?" And Sign is working on it and say, "We need a supercomputer to figure this out." And Ray is immediately like, "Oh, we do a supercomputer." And he goes down there and Eobard is just like 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And his line, "I learned astro navigation in grade school. 38 degrees." It's just perfect. He kills it this entire episode.
I love the fact that they took the time. Like, the Harrison Wells thing is one thing, but they took the time to put a spotlight on how smart he actually is. And that he is a dude who spent his entire life, like, learning. And that he is smart enough to figure out how to become like the Flash, basically.
Yeah. It's really cool. Let's see. Does anybody have anything that they really didn't like?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I know that it's supposed to lead to what ends up happening later on in the episode.
Yeah.
Nate just turns on a dime.
Yeah.
Maya.
Their relationship gets a little bit weird this episode. I haven't really been bothered by it.
Their only reconciliation is by Hank's death. Not Hank.
Yeah, Henry.
Henry.
Oh, he's dead. Let's bone. Like,
yeah.
My grandpa died. I'm sad. Can I have sad sex?
Yeah. Let's see.
Look, it's still the most tolerable relationship drama across all four shows. So
I mean, it's not as bad as goddamn Raymond and Kendra last year. So I mean,
those two had zero chemistry.
I mean, it was the inverse of chemistry.
When the show first debuted, they were saying that the romance was going to be Ray and Sarah.
Yeah, I'm glad we never did that.
Dude, she would beta male the shit out of him.
Yeah.
God, he would look like... Sarah's so alpha in this show.
Yeah.
I feel like even giving her a romantic subplot would be a disservice to her character because she's so fucking headstrong.
Yeah. That's why she became captain so easily, because she just dominates other people in every instance.
She basically, not meaning to, but she, neuters Rip Hunter in his own ship,
Yeah.
Which is something we should, I mean, that's the one, that's what the episode closes on, is that Rip is, sitting in his little lounge drinking to himself. He's like, well, I've got no purpose.
Yeah. And I do like that they kind of end it with him saying, I need to figure out what my place is now, with you firmly as the captain. And I do like that he acknowledges that him leaving made them a better team, which I really like, that they acknowledge that. Yeah, this episode, I'd say it's ultimately a really good episode, but Legends has just been killing it, at least since we came back from winter break. I think before that they were a little bit, some weeks they'd be the best, some weeks they'd be second, third best, but they've really just been killing it in the second half.
Like I've said about Flash before, sometimes even when these shows are yeah, it's okay, it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Mediocre Flash is pretty damn good TV either way. And so it kind of works for this show's favor, too. Especially with how good they've been all season.
Yeah.
Well, what are we moving on to? I can't remember if we did Arrow or Flash next.
I think we should do Arrow, just because it was impressive this week. And even you said that you liked it, so...
I do not love Arrow. However, I loved this week's episode. And if Arrow can pull me away, because my setup is I have a laptop right next to my TV, which is right next to my Xbox, so I sit in this little station, I can watch my computer where I have shows on, and I'll play a video game, because I can't just sit and do one thing. And if something's good enough to maybe just put the controller down and go, okay, you get 200% of my attention, it's doing good things. Which is not to say I don't pay attention every other time, because I do. No, this episode was good. I finally gave a shit about Prometheus. He's not just some spooky hooded villain who's, player 2 Green Arrow.
Yeah. I think this episode is really impressive because, and they did something that they did in season 2, and so this is your guidebook if you're ever looking to write for the show Arrow. Just copy Arrow season 2 and you'll write good Arrow. That's there for you. He was once Ollie's friend, and now he's bad. Huh.
Didn't he bring up?
It's amazing.
He's like, oh yeah, Tommy's dead too. I'm like, you're gonna bring up all these people who were his friends and went bad or died.
Yeah, and it's weird. The best villains in this show were villains who we spent a lot of time with, and we got to know, and then they turned evil on us.
Yeah,
it's funny how that
Allan,
works.
In not so many words, the identity of Prometheus is basically out in the open, and everyone of importance knows who he is.
Yep.
Which kind of added an interesting wrinkle to the episode, because there was no, when they were in a political setting, when they're at work, all the core characters are like, you motherfucker. And then Adrian is like, oh, I'm glad we're being open with everything. This is nice.
Yeah. And again, it does bring back vibes of season 2, where Slade was just walking around, he was going to Oliver's house and looking at the place because he wanted to buy it, and just mocking him in front of his family, and just mocking him in public. And it's the same vibe of oh, I'm evil and I'm right in front of you, but you can't do anything about it. I'm right here and I'm just gloating as I've defeated you. And it really works. And you see all of his friends having to stand right next to him and not just want to punch his face off.
Okay, can I just say something that just occurred to me? If Slade did, if he had bought the Wayne Manor, as I'm calling it now.
You mean Lex's house from Smallville?
Yeah.
Shut up. No, it wasn't.
It was the exact same house.
God.
as someone who watched every episode of Smallville, the moment it showed up on screen, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's Lex's house."
it really does look like it.
No, it's the exact same house. I looked it up just to make sure. Yeah. What were we saying?
If Slade had bought the house, I imagine if they'd go in a if the show was a dramedy,
Yeah.
they'd pull a Misfits season 2 and have Slade pull a Nathan and shit in Oliver's bed.
What?
In his costume.
Yeah.
Hammer just trained on fucking Deathstroke in his yellow and black mask, just squatting over the bed.
God damn it. That would be great.
Funny you mentioned like the budgetary things and like shooting locations. When Oliver does his short Batman Begins scene where he treks up to the assassins, like I like how he walked into what looked like just a room, and it's like, this is the League of Assassins Temple. It's like, that's just it's the room.
Well, I don't think it's the League of Assassins. I think it's whatever Talia is doing, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's
So yeah, Talia trained Prometheus, Talia trained Oliver, Talia reveals that she's an Al Ghul. I didn't know that this far into the show that hadn't been revealed yet to Oliver.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, she never, like, in front of Oliver was like, my name is Talia Al Ghul. She just introduced herself as Talia.
In the flashback, right?
Yeah. In the flashback, she was just Talia. And he was never in the Legends episode where we meet young Talia. So to him, Talia is just a chick. And Roz never said that he had another daughter. So yeah, that reveal was a mystery to Oliver, and I thought it worked really well on screen. Personally,
I think a lot of things worked this episode. I even enjoyed Oliver's little hissy fit.
Yeah, I thought a lot of things were good.
Because he just kept goofing, like he's like, because I mean, this villain has been basically next to him the entire season. It made Oliver look like a total scrub, and like he just fucking has a fit.
Yeah, and there's so many things about it. Like I like that when he gets a little bit perturbed with Felicity and goes to confront her about the hacking stuff, he doesn't yell at her. They don't have like a verbal fight. He's just very calm and he's very relaxed and he's like, what's going on? In a very like caring way, which is not how he normally fixes things.
I was going to say, this is the most human I've seen Oliver in a long time, when he's not just being like, when he's not fluctuating between like Mayor Handsome and Gruff Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or doing the salmon ladder.
Doing the what?
The salmon ladder.
Yeah, that's the bar thing. The exercise that was in like the trailers for the first season.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember in the crossover during season 1 of The Flash when Barry was doing it?
Yeah.
Cisco tried one pull and he instantly fell.
Yep.
Back when
good.
Cisco wasn't petty.
Yeah.
Well, Cisco's not petty now.
Yeah, he's recovered from the pettiness.
Let's not go back over the dark times.
He's punished Cisco.
Yeah. But yeah, like one thing I really loved about this episode is the team starts to solidify more than any of the previous Arrow teams have. Like before, the Arrow team always felt like just a distraction or just like kind of a way to fill out the screen so that you could have more people fighting people at the same time. This team like is starting to like feel cohesive. Like everybody has a purpose and a reason to be there.
Well, they also have like it used to be just with Thea and then damn it, Arsenal. I can't remember his fucking name.
Right.
It's a bunch of like, it's like, hey, we all have bows and arrows too, but now it's like you have Mr. Fantastic, who is like a gadget dude.
Terrific.
You have Renee, who is just pure like just it's fury and like in your face kind of a fighter, and then you have Diggle, who is military trained, like
yeah. And then you have Black Canary, who's got superpowers. You have
superpowers. Yeah.
Rory.
Yeah, and it's everybody feels like they have a purpose. Well, Rory isn't here anymore.
Wait, what?
Remember? Rory left like an episode ago.
Yeah, Ragman he's currently absent. He'll
he
come back
was
by the end of the season.
His
It's not
spin-off.
Hunter. It's not happening.
Look, you will all apologize to me so hard tomorrow.
Hunter, I'm going to be topical right now. That show has as much chance of happening as Venom has of coming out in 2018. Okay. Fuck you, Sony.
It's gonna happen.
No, it won't.
It's gonna happen.
We'll
Yeah,
get.
Sony. Good idea. It's going to go right along with your Aunt May spy flick, huh?
We're more likely to get a Rory and Rory show, which I'm actually all for. Rory, get it? Rory and McRory and Rory.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, it'd be a fun
Rory.
show. Yeah,
They
they're
really get
two
the
completely
18 to
opposite
38
people.
demographic.
Yep. Well, think about it. You have this very, I'll say, handsome millennial, and you have, God damn it, what's his name? Who plays Rory? I can't remember his
Purcell.
real name.
Yeah,
And you have
Dominic
Dominic Purcell, who looks like he gets into prison fights every single day. You have them teamed up in a comedy show. I mean, what could go wrong? It's the new Odd Couple.
Every
Yeah.
episode title is just Rory hates blank.
Yep. Coming to CW next fall. Yeah. Okay, why did we start talking about Rory? God damn it, Alan.
Because he's gone. He's absent
I
from the
didn't
show.
know.
We're talking about the team
I
dynamics
didn't
and how
notice
everything
when
has
I
a role.
watched the previous episode that he left.
Yeah,
Okay.
after the episode where the nuke went off in Russia, I believe, and he
Yeah,
covered
and
it
he
with his
absorbed
rags,
it with
but
his
the rags got damaged, so he kind of went off to go fix that.
Oh, so he's
Only
coming
to,
back?
I'm sure, make a... Yeah, he said he'd be back. He's going to make a heroic return at the end of the season. It's a guarantee.
He better,
Yeah.
or I'll stop watching the show.
Oh, okay, Alan.
Sure.
He's off the show.
Another empty threat of not watching Arrow.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to die at the end of the season. Pretty
I
sure.
mean, I don't watch Arrow most of the week, so
Yeah, I didn't notice, Hunter. It doesn't bother me at all. At all. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's go back into this episode.
Yeah, Adrian was nice. He was nice, and he reeks of now he's been kind of exposed, and everyone kind of knows who he is, and they're gunning for him. He kind of reeks of desperation, even though he technically has been kind of ahead of the game the whole season.
Yeah. And he's just he's slimy.
Yeah, and he's in stark denial that he's kind of been exposed.
Did I miss Michael Dorn?
He said 2 words.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't in the Prometheus suit most of the time.
Yeah, it was basically
And actually-
and then when he was unmasked.
Yeah. He was kind of better because of it. Him being unmasked made him a better villain.
Yes, because he wasn't just spooky guy throwing ninja stars.
Yeah.
It's the Savitar problem, where until we know who the fuck he is and what he's doing or why he's doing it, he's completely uninteresting.
Yeah, in the same way that Zoom became boring until he took his mask off.
Yeah.
Why
I like Zoom because Zoom was cheeky and obnoxious.
Yeah, but it became the same thing over and over again until he took that mask off. And then
there was moments like, "Oh, Barry's dead," and then just
right. But then when he gets his mask off, you can have that moment. You've all failed. You all screwed up again. Ha ha ha.
You fucked up.
Which is still great.
So Zoom is a ECW fan?
Yep. Let's see.
I'm surprised
Okay.
Allan got that reference, or he's just glossing over it.
Yep. Okay. We'll go into this now. There was a year where I actually did like wrestling and where I watched it, and I had friends who liked it. So it became I had too much all at once, so I became very bored of it very quickly. Kind of like how when you get really into a music genre for a year, and then you're like, I don't want to hear that genre ever again. Same thing.
No, it's
So that's
just
why I
touching it
have
real
a.
quick. No, I think
dislike.
everyone at some point in that time period when wrestling was huge was a fan. It was huge, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more when Cody Rhodes comes back, because he is.
Yep. Let's see. Prometheus. Okay, so I have in my notes. Prometheus really likes streaming, and that's a reference to he's kind of doing a Saw thing with Ollie's girlfriend, where he's showing you him
Ex-girlfriend.
torturing her. No, it's his girlfriend now. God damn it, Alan.
It's... When
They
I
patch things up.
Oh, the last thing I read was that they were on the break.
Well, nothing will rekindle your romance like saving your life from an arrow-toting psychopath.
Right. Yeah, this is why I get so angry when people don't watch some of these shows. Just gonna say it. You have to have 5 minutes of us stopping to explain what happened to Ragman. So yeah.
Guys.
Seriously, guys, he had T-Spears this episode. Get on this shit. But I do understand, he should have had T-Spears beginning of the season. And we didn't need that girl turning evil, and I don't even remember what happened to her. I don't know if she turned bad.
Holy shit. I've forgotten. What the fuck happened to Artemis?
She just disappeared after the mid-season.
She disappeared!
I have no idea what happened to her.
She turns on Team Arrow and she's like, haha, I'm a traitor, and then literally vanishes from the season.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess Oliver accidentally killing that guy was supposed to just make us forget. Yeah, but let's see. So there's this moment where Ollie is being arrested by the cops, and he says, "I wasn't talking to you," and it's just the most sarcastic line I've ever heard him say. But he doesn't have that thing to pull it off or make it funny, so it just feels like ADR, really bad ADR.
I called it
and
going.
Make you laugh.
I called it going full Dark Knight, where he makes some kind of weird quip and then smoke bombs.
Aw, man.
Yeah.
Jay Lynch passed away.
Who? What?
He was an artist for the Garbage Pail Kids comic.
Oh, that's
Okay, god damn it, Allan.
that is so off the beaten path. It's not even funny.
Allan, you're fired. At least as a host of the show. Jesus. I don't know.
Again, that's a different conversation for a different day.
We're so off topic. Does anybody have anything positive from what they saw in this episode or negative even?
I just liked it because it felt like something was actually at stake for once, and there was things going on that were relatable to human beings, and not, like I said, not just Oliver being either one extreme of smarmy handsome guy or the other extreme of screaming at his teammates vigilante.
Yeah, I like that too. And I think that this episode and last episode, I really liked the last episode. But I thought this episode is a good example of what a good Arrow episode should be. A lot happened. At the 30-minute mark, I looked up and I was like, oh, wait, we're only 30 minutes in and shit tons is going on.
I felt the same way with Flash and Legends this week, where I thought all three shows were paced brilliantly to the point where I looked down at how much time has passed. And I was like, this episode is only halfway done.
Yeah. That's the stuff when it's at its best. That is they know what they're doing and they're really nailing it.
And it's the back half of the season is going to be, it feels like it's going to be improved the first half, much like another show this year.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Flash.
Yes.
These two are just duh.
You're the hero now, Barry.
Okay.
Finally, some stuff has been happening with fucking Savitar.
Yeah, it's starting to get interesting.
I'm still please just fucking tell me who he is.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it. At this point, I'm close to not caring.
Yeah, but
right.
They finally realized that what he's wearing is pseudo-armor, which we all could clearly fucking tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't need to stab him to figure that out. We could all tell that there's somebody under there.
Yeah,
it's clearly an Iron Man situation.
Yeah.
Or something.
But like the last time Barry went to the Speed Force, the Runaway Dinosaur, this was awesome. A lot of returning characters, which was very, very nice to see. Eddie, Ronnie, and Snart. Snart returned twice on Flash before he's returned on Legends.
They just keep on teasing us. They're just like, oh, we're gonna just give you a little taste here and there. Although it looks like he is coming back next week officially.
Yeah.
So that'll be great. Prepare for Legends to be number one next week.
This episode, Barry goes into the Speed Force again to go get Wally, who is stuck in the Speed Force, reliving his mother's death over and over again, which I thought was really fucked up.
Yeah. I really didn't expect them to do this so soon. So, whatever. I
Had
guess.
Jay not taken his place at the end, there would have been utterly no stakes to this episode.
Yeah.
If he'd just gotten Wally back, I'd be like, well, that was useless.
Yeah, that was just a waste of a plot line.
My one complaint from this show, from this episode, is unlike the last time he went in the Speed Force and they tried to convince him to come to some sort of realization or come to terms with stuff, I don't think the lesson they were trying to impart on him was received.
I don't think it was either.
I don't think
Yeah,
they ever learned lessons.
I mean, yeah, that's Barry's problem with this show. Is he's not that smart.
Murray is the theme of the entire series so far, especially season 3. Season 3 is just basically a greatest hits of what Barry fucks up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
also like that the Speed Force has been represented as this weird metaphysical, personal, either personal hell or I wouldn't call the last time a personal hell, but it's always some kind of deeply personal location that is also good for the budget.
Right.
Fuck it, let's just put it in the police station.
Yeah, I like that too.
But that made sense to have Eddie come back and sit there and chastise Barry,
right.
You constantly let others take the fall for you. And I think what they were trying to tell him is hey, please stop passing the buck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop
maybe
letting
realize
other people
that aside from, well, not even Zoom. With Eobard, he had Eddie. With the Singularity, he had Ronnie.
Yeah.
For Zoom, he had
His dad.
No, I was gonna say another version of himself.
Yeah, but that's the show glossed over. It seemed inconsequential, but Barry's dad would have been fine had Barry done something about Zoom when he capped him the first time instead of sitting there going, ha ha ha, caught ya.
This goes back to Barry is basically a child.
Yeah, Barry
kind of.
Barry refuses to grow up.
Also, another scene, the scene from last season's premiere with Harrison Wells or Eobard Thawne. I know you, Barry. You'll never be truly happy.
Yeah, that was it's very relevant.
On the topic of, now we mentioned him, I might as well just bring up. Gee, who are you cutting wood back there?
What?
Hunter, what are you doing?
Sounds like someone's sawing through something.
Sorry, I had to let the cat in.
Now that we brought up Zoom, let's just fucking bring up Black Flash, who was name dropped as Solomon, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And he has the powers of the time race.
Yeah, which is really cool.
I'm still not sure what Barry did to him.
I think it's just
this thing is a bomb now.
Yeah, it's my. God damn it!
I have a grenade.
I guess I have a theory. I guess
Say what you want, Applejack.
Okay. I guess my theory is that Beacon has positive energy, and because he's in the Speed Force, he's made out of negative energy.
Black Flash is negative Speed Force, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like matter and antimatter. So that's my guess. That's my best guess for how that happened.
I also like them recognizing what Black Flash is a little more in the Flash, because let's say you don't watch Legends of Tomorrow. And with Barry being attacked by the Black Flash here in the Speed Force, it would make sense for someone who's only watched Season 2 of Flash, because, one, he gets name-dropped as Solomon, and it's very clearly established that, the entities in the Speed Force are kind of directing him, because, who is it?
Yeah.
Is it Ronnie or Snart that basically says, hey, I got a surprise for you?
I think it's Snart.
Yeah. And then Black Flash comes in and starts beating Barry's ass.
Yeah, and it confirms the theory that I had, which is that he is he's a enforcer for the Speed Force, and that's what he's become. And he's sort of, when the time wraith doesn't cut it, which I really liked. And part of me still wants him to turned temporarily back into like a human for a second. But I did like him as a zombie again in this episode, and we really get to see like what happens when he fights another speedster, and that Eobard would be fucked if he ever stopped.
Yeah. I think, yeah, like I said, the back half of the season has been vastly improved. Of the not back half, like the back third has been much better than this middle part where it's just dead, nothing's happening.
Yeah. It's much more interesting, and it feels like they're actually like telling a story instead of like giving us hints of a story, which is really helpful when you're trying to make a compelling TV show. And even some of the dumb character things that they have to do, like Jesse being not the best friends with HR, even that feels like it works better than before they actually had a story that they were trying to tell. Like her wanting to be angry at Savitar actually makes sense because it does further the plot. So, yeah, I thought that worked better than it has earlier in the season.
So I guess let's just get this out now. What is our guesses for who the hell Savitar is?
I think he's...
Because the list of suspects at this point, like when we were all theorizing about Zoom, I feel like it was easier to pinpoint, like, because you had a list of people you can go, it's this group of people, it can't be anybody else.
Right, and even 3 episodes before we found out, I had, like, a very strong idea of who it was, or at least which actor would be playing him. And it was...
Well, they dropped the Hunter Zolomon bit, like, in the first half of the season.
Yeah, so I knew it was something to do with him. Like, for a time, I thought he was like a time clone, or I thought maybe like they were a set of twins on each Earth, and maybe 2 of the twins combined in some way, or something like that, something really convoluted. But no, it was just really simple. He's the evil version of Hunter Zolomon on that Earth, and he was the one who received the Flash powers instead of Barry. Yeah. With Zolomon, I don't know what they're doing, really. Well,
because at this point, like, what are we on? We're on episode 17 next week?
Yeah. We're close.
There's like 5 episodes left. And if he is not someone who is pre-existing, who gives a shit?
I mean, I think it's Julian. If I had to place money on it, I'd say it's Julian. Which is like, okay... And there's going to be it's going to be real timey-wimey. It's like the highest timey-wiminess that we've ever had to deal with. It's going to be a fucking paradox.
There's a strong kind of fan theory movement that last week when he said, I am the future, Flash, people were interpreting it as, I'm the future Flash.
Yeah.
People think it's Barry.
That's stupid.
I think
that's because I saw someone immediately poke a hole and they go, why would Barry kill Iris, you fucking idiot?
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense.
No, that's not even Barry would feel it become that corrupt. However, someone did bring up the point that the Future Flash story in the comics did involve a Barry from the future who was in a sheen blue and black suit that lit up. Yeah, that's a bit on the nose.
I mean...
Then again, it could be a misdirect, because the entire Savitar thing was a misdirect to begin with.
Yeah. Okay, so Savitar could be a time remnant of Barry who got trapped and separated from Iris and got so angry that he would rather kill Iris so that Barry couldn't have her than not have her himself, which is also the plot of a Doctor Who episode.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna pull from something, pull from something good.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're gonna, steal from the girl who waited. It's a good episode. Well, everybody should do that. I'm gonna do it if I ever write a TV show. So, come at me, Doctor Who producers.